How's it going, everyone? Taking a bit of a break from Constructed and Modern to do some Legacy Cube. Which is currently live on Magic Online and is until the 25th. And if you're not aware what the Legacy Cube is, it's basically one of the cube formats, so custom draft format that Wizards run on Magic Online from time to time. Generally full of ridiculously busted cards and combos and stuff like that. Some of the decks play out close to Legacy and Vintage ones rather than modern ones, and certainly not standard ones. It's not quite the most powerful cube they run a Vintage cube, but you could do some pretty crazy stuff and play some fairly ridiculous cards. I also haven't played it very often. I've watched people play it, but I haven't really done much with it. So I'm going to try and make the cards extra big because there's a lot of them that you might not recognise. Cards I'm kind of drawn to. Apparently Fixing's quite good, but Temple of Epiphany doesn't strike me as great. Thalia is obviously a very good aggressive creature. Koth's a very good aggressive planeswalker who can ultimate pretty quickly. Frun is a ridiculously hard threat to remove. Song of the Dryads is removal for any permanent. Risefall can be a fairly good card. For few cards you can cast either side, or you can cast both at once. Always a fan of Tasigur. I don't know how easy it is to enable Delve, but Tasigur is very powerful. And Egric, Spymaster of Trust, is a pretty powerful card. Whenever any creature you control does combat damage, draw a card is pretty effective. It is two colours though. I kind of meant to pick something else there, but Song of the Dryads is removal for pretty much anything. Here's a bit more powerful stuff though. Immediately drawn to Deathrite Shaman, one of the best mana elves ever made. Sourced Plowshare is quite powerful. I don't know if Twin is in this cube format, but if not, Deceiver Exile would be pretty good. There's also Misty Rainforest, because again, apparently Fixing could be quite good. You just play very good decks. I think we've already got a Song of the Dryads, which I didn't mean to take, but it removes anything. I'll take Deathrite Shaman just because it can be so incredibly powerful at just accelerating or just grinding people out. Or hating on graveyards, so take Deathrite Shaman. Ooh, I see lots of things I like. So if we wanted to ramp hard, we could go for Overgrown Battlement. There's a Xenagos, which doesn't seem that powerful, I guess. Kira, Eyes for Regent Collected finds Kakusha don't seem too powerful. Soul Force is good fixing for red-blue. Oblivion Ring's very good removal, and Sarkhan is a fairly powerful planeswalker. I guess the sensible thing here would be to take a black or blue card, but I feel like you can do so many ridiculous things and you can stay open that I'm going to play one of my favourite cards in Magic full stop, which is Monastery Mentor. And see if we can do something ridiculous with that, because I do love me some Monastery Mentor. And what have we got here? So Kalatas, it's a pretty powerful option. There's Woodland Cemetery for fixing. Bruna seems very expensive. Amira Angel's quite a powerful card if you can protect it. You get it's 3/3 for 4 for flying, you get a 1/1 fly every time you play a land. Oust is fairly bad removal. Scrap Heap is a good aggro option. Harbinger, it doesn't seem like a deck for that. Kasali Primate is pretty powerful. There's also like mainboard Hate, I guess. I don't want to commit too hard, so in case we end up building like a gun deck with Deathrite Shaman, and that's very to say, we'll take Kalatath. That's what I mean about fixing. You've got original duels and shop plans. None of the actual cards strike me as powerful. Like Inquisition's good in the vacuum, and Whisperwood Elemental would be quite powerful. Ulamog's good if you ramp into it. But I'm just going to take Scrubland as just good fixing here. I'm probably rushing a bit much after missing the first pick, because I probably would have taken Koth, to be honest. But Scrubland, I mean, we've taken cards in black and white. If you get fetch lands, obviously these duels get better, because I know some people just take every single bit of fixing they could get, and then just play good stuff decks. It's got some pretty powerful stuff in it. Vorinclex seems very slow. There's some lands. Una's Prowler, discard a card, gets... it doesn't seem fantastic. Sacred Foundry's more fixing. Hero of Bladehole's pretty powerful. But none of these things seem particularly amazing, so I'm going to take a Sacred Foundry for more fixing. Okay, I'm going to guess Twin is in this. There's Pestamite and Splinter Toy and Deceiver Exarch, so maybe Twin is in here. Seems a bit eager to go for it. Work of Erebos, good reanimation. Buried Alive, I guess, is for a reanimated deck. Face Fetters is just removal. Desecration Demon is good aggro. Sorin's pretty powerful, but I'm going to take Arid Mesa because it can get a Scribbland and a Sacred Foundry. I'm going to start just trying to play ridiculous decks. Gamble, fast, so... Vampire Nighthawk's just a solid creature. Gamble, you can tutor a card, but then you have to discard a card at random. Angel Dimension seems very mediocre relative to power of this. I've got some fixing for red. Especially I would like the one stream as well playing. It looks like we're just kind of building a mid-range deck at the moment with Death Ray Shaman, Calathus, and Sogdic Rides. If you want to do that, then I guess we will play Olivia Voldaren. Pretty powerful card. This is our original pack. Bone Shredder's just kind of removal, so I guess we'll play that. Source to Plowshares, Terminate, Hypnotic Spectre for Phyrexian Arena. I guess we're kind of in 4 colours at the moment, but Terminate's just pretty good removal. Thunderate Regent, Sarkhan, Kakusho. Kakusho seems the slowest. Sarkhan is pretty powerful, so we'll try that. Oust, Kasali Primage. I guess in case there's aggro decks, Flake and Anger. And guess Whisperwood Elemental. And Quarantine Field, I guess. With Verbo seems decent-ish. So we want to kind of get stuff in the graveyard now. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think this deck, this format has like as many powerful, ridiculous things you can do, like Storm and so on. I mean, there's a Force of Will there, but so we're kind of gunned. So Badland seems good. Fixes some of our mana. If we weren't taking that, we'd probably take Plateau, and we could go into red-white. Other than that, it's not fantastic. I mean, there's stuff like Reanimate, but we don't really have anything to do with it, so I guess we're just on the mid-range plan. Again, there's some great cards here, but I feel if we take Martial Arts, we've kind of got like some pretty good fixing. I mean, we can just hopefully play anything in 4 colours. Basically 4 colours, not blue. So I guess we'll do that. I can't know if this is good because I haven't played this format in a long time. Some pretty powerful stuff here. Dreadbore, Char, Living Death can be amazing in the right deck. Mimic Bats have always been a favourite card of mine. Sorry if you can hear those Facebook notifications. I don't know how to mute them. Wasteland can be pretty powerful. I don't know how good it is in a limited format. Elspeth on your hand is a fairly ridiculous card. And if we just... I mean, maybe the key in this cube isn't to play fair, but we'll try it. Firebolt seems okay. There seems to be a reanimated strategy, but I haven't seen any targets. Wall of Omens could buy us some time given a lot of stuff we're trying to do. Terastodon seems too slow. Loxodon Warhammer could be pretty powerful, but guess we'll try a Wall of Omens. Ah, well, we'll just continue with the great fixing and play Bayou. We would probably play Misery Mortars or Aberrant of Keep or Peering Cure in the La, but Bayou's pretty good. We're just getting very good fixing, so hopefully we can play anything. We should leave the temptation to play Verdant Catacombs. But Sylvan Library is a pretty insane card. So basically, on your draw step, you draw 2 cards. You draw 2 more cards, and if you do... I forget how Sylvan Library works, but it can be very powerful. Draw 2 additional cards. If you do, choose 2 cards in your hand, draw on this turn. For each of these cards, pay 4 life. Okay, so you can basically draw an extra 2 cards on your upkeep. You draw 3 cards on your upkeep, but you have to pay 4 life if you keep them. Yeah. Condemn could be some early removal because we're looking a bit top heavy at the moment. Vindicate would be good otherwise. So we're just doing 4 colour stuff now. This could be terrible, I don't know. Spell Queller we can't play. And Barrel, again, there seems to be a reanimated step. I haven't seen a reanimated target, that's the thing. Hidden Dragon Slayer seems very medium. Magus of the Will is basically Yawgmoth's Will. Well, I'll be honest, don't know how to break it. Ranger of Eos gets 2 1-drops, so that doesn't seem great. Could just be Sensei's Divining Top? I guess it's Sensei's Divining Top. Journey to Nowhere's removal. Surak isn't what we're doing. Bramaz is quite good, but it's double white in this kind of ridiculous 4-colour deck. But it seems Skin Render's pretty decent, but I guess this slows the curve more. If you're playing mid-range, I'm a big fan of playing Gideon Jura. Frask is also pretty good, but Gideon's just busted at times. Wouldn't mind getting some like ramp to get to this stuff earlier, along with Deathrite Shaman. This isn't, yeah, it's a bit weirder to recording like a normal limited format. Because I'm expecting not everyone knows what all these cards do. I guess we might play Gatekeeper from Malakir. But you've also got to pick on the clock. So it's also possible I'm just completely missing stuff. We're actually kind of lacking a red, which might be okay, because although we've got a lot of fixing, maybe if we just focus in being like Abdan or something. Again, it feels like we're doing a lot of fair stuff, but we've got no real plan. Well, I wish I'd seen some reanimated targets, because like I've seen a ton of reanimate spells, but no reanimate targets. Yeah, Whip of Erebos could be interesting. Like whipping back a lot of this stuff seems fairly decent. But yeah, at the moment we're kind of doing a lot of weird stuff, and it feels like we need removal or disruption. It's kind of the thing with Cube, is that it can be a little ridiculous. I guess actually from white, I mean we've currently got... Let's take these out, so we've got 6 lands, there's 18 cards, 7 creatures. I mean, I guess Mentor and Quarantine Field can kind of come back in for now. Collector Effort, Destroy for a greater... Seems okay. Regrowth, maybe. Ratchet Bomb might just be better. Guilt Leaf Winnower seems a bit slow. I'll take Pier and Kieran Alavo. This is another good mid-range card. Exquisite Firecraft or a Silent Visitor. I don't like either, but a Silent Visitor could be a 2-drop, maybe. Take Vindicate last. So... yeah, I think the thing with cubes, you have to kind of learn how to do it, and I don't really know how to do it. Okay, Splinter Twin is in the cube. If I'd known that, I would have maybe taken something. But I think... yeah, we weren't in blue, otherwise I would have taken the Exarch or Pestmite chance. So Splinter Twin is in the cube. Good to know. There is Godless Shrine for more fixing. There's also Mother of Runes. Which can be pretty ridiculous in terms of protecting creatures. And we've got a lot of creatures you can kind of take over the game if left alone. So I guess we'll try Mother of Runes. Kind of wish I'd taken that Ranger of Eos now, but what can you do? Grave Titan is expensive, but a consideration. Deck in Stone will be on the list. Rabble Master maybe, or Godless Shrine. Or Giraga Tree Speaker, just to kind of get us to some of that stuff earlier. So So we've got 2 Wraths, we've got a Temple Garden we could search out. Oracle of Mordiah is a very unassuming card. It's like Course of Crucifix without the life gain, except you get to play an extra land each turn, so it can be quite powerful. Mana Confluence is fixing. Emrakul, we've got Enchantment, Creature, Planeswalker, Artifact. And if Emrakul comes around, we could potentially play it. But if we're playing mid-range deck, then I'll probably just want Dark Confidant. Basically, you're just trying to play Modern Jund, but with some other stuff. So I guess we'll take that. Gaia's Cradle, I don't think we have the deck for. Nykthos doesn't seem great. Vorash Stronghold can just put stuff from the library on stuff from the graveyard on top of our library and can be quite good. Parallax Wave. This doesn't seem like a Parallax Wave deck. None of these cards seem great, to be honest. Colligan's Command is at the top of the list after a Savannah, just for better fixing. Because again, we're playing 4 colors, we want as good fixing as possible, frankly. So, our options here are Chandra for another finisher. Shriekmaw is a removal spell that can also be a creature. Our mana's not good enough for Tectonic Age. Go for the Throat is also removal, but this is a bit more flexible. Obviously, it can't hit black creatures, but it feels like very little to give up. So I think we'll take Shriekmaw. If not, I guess we'll take Challenger or maybe Raging Ravine. So we'll get Shriekmaw in there. This isn't a great one. I mean, Banefire we can't really make great use of. Shield Grid is very expensive. It tends to be a reanimation target. I don't think we're casting it. City of Brass is more fixing. Dem Protector is a fairly good value card. Phyrexian Metamorph is actually quite powerful. Obviously it's blue, but we could pay Phyrexian mana, and you can have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any artifact or creature, except it's also an artifact. So I think it's either that or Spectral Procession, which makes 3/1/1s, but I think Phyrexian Metamorph has probably got a lot of use in something like this. Necrotol is another removal spell. Relic of Progenitus seems average. Cascone Sifter seems average. Temple of Silence will be more fixing. But Necrotol again is... this is not like Bone Shredder and Shriekmaw where the creature can just die after doing this because of Echo or Evoke. This just straight up kills a thing. I do like Unmastered Fells, but I also like Path to Exile. Wall of Blossoms is also a temptation, which is basically Wall of Omens, but in green. Might wheel, who knows. I'll take Path. Ophinus is good. Hallowed Spirit Keeper seems weird, but potentially good. But I mean, if we go mid-range, just try Liliana Last Hope and see how that goes. This is our original deck pick, so I think I'm just going to take Godless Shrine for better fixing. Crux of Fate, Oracle Mordiah, Temple Garden. I've got a lot of playables. I don't think any of these would necessarily get in, so I guess Temple Garden for more fixing. We could have Flawless Mana. We've got 2 fetch lands and a lot of dual lands. And this is after passing up on Verdant Catacombs as well. So we should hopefully be okay on mana. Although cue me then losing to mana. I think this isn't a Sensei's Divining top deck necessarily. Don't think we're playing any of these, but I don't want to play against Parallax Wave, so... I say that, I forget this is with a new cube where, I don't think I'm playing any of this. This is in the new cube where, you don't... I keep taking cards that go against me. In the new cube it's the league format, so it doesn't actually matter what you hate draft, because you're probably not going to play against that person, so I should have just taken Challenger out last time. This is now for the hard part of cube, where it's like, what do I take out? And I think Asylum Visitor comes out because it's quite poor. Dem Protector doesn't seem that great. Whip of... Ooh, Temple of Silence is not bad. Quarantine Field may be a bit slow. Because it says 36 cards here, but it's worth bearing in mind 10 of those are lands. So let's bring this up. So the thing with Monastery Mentor is that we actually have a lot of ways to trigger it. I kind of feel these are all kind of crucial. We do have 3 of these removal effects, which is why I'm going to take out Condemn. Song of the Dryads is removal, but it can also just deal with permanents. It can deal with planeswalkers, artifacts, enchantments that are difficult. We can actually cut a lot of the red from this. And Sarkhan is just a very good finisher. This is the thing, I'm not really sure of like what is not as great as it seems. Like Kalatas seems decent, although we only have 1, 2 removal spells, so maybe Kalatas comes out. Whisperwood Elemental, is that the best finisher? I'm not sure. But I think 13 creatures is about as many as I want to go down to. Right-click Bomb's kind of slow. It might just be that right-click Bomb, especially when we've got such a spread of permanents, it might just be right-click Bomb. Is a sideboard card. And we do have sideboard cards like Condemn, Quarantine Field, right-click Bomb, Anger of the Gods, Kalatas, Dem Protector. But yeah, let's try this. I do fear that I've forgotten the basic rule of Cube, which is you can't play fair. I don't want a blue mana source. Okay, let me figure this out. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 white. Oh wait, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 white symbols. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 black symbols. Just figuring out the mana here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we didn't end up in much in green and red as possible. So it's not ideal, but yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to have 1, 2 red sources, so probably want another one of those at least. 1, 2, 3. So if we go like 2 red, 1 green, 2 black, 2 plains. Submit and see how this goes. It's certainly very speculative. But yeah, I haven't ventured into Legacy Cube for a while, and I haven't watched it. I know it's not as busted as Vintage Cube, where you can just like storm off turn 1. But we'll give this a go. Basically, the best of Abzan and Jund, sort of? Question mark. It's not really the best of Abzan and Jund, but give it a go. Let's see if we can find an opponent. But again, I fear we're trying to be too fair. But I mean, we've got some fairly powerful stuff like Mother of Runes, Deathrite Shaman, and just a lot of powerful cards. But we'll see what happens. Playing against Kotki91. So we can evoke out Shriekmaw, and with 1 more land we can find a Necrotor and a Olivia Vardar, so I'm going to keep this and see what we're up against. Forest, Jiraga Treespeaker. So this looks like it could be a green ramp deck, so I'd probably want to kill Jiraga's Treespeaker as soon as I get a chance. It doesn't look like we're getting that chance, so lead off with Marshlands. We need double black for something, we need double red for something, so we can fetch out Badlands here, I guess. So Jiraga Treespeaker levels up, adds 2 green. And see what they do with it. Attack for 1. Like, ramp is one of the more powerful things you can do. I would imagine. I did see a few ramp things. So they got 4 banner on... I mean, just having 4 banner on turn 2 is pretty powerful. So we get this Badlands. Like, for your turn... I mean, I actually might just evoke out Shriek more, to be honest. Scrublands. That gives us double black and we can play our double red. So... yeah, I'm going to evoke out Shriek more because our opponent could have 5 mana next turn. And I don't really want them to do that. The good thing with stuff like Shriekmaw and Necrotor is we can whip Erebos them back. So our opponent's on Jund, so they've got a Catacomb Sifter. Okie doke. So this could be a mid-range battle. Nothing for us here, so... guess we'll go with the Arid Mesa. We can get that to get some sort of green land, probably Temple Garden I think we've got in there. And then next turn we can see what we want to do out of Necrotor, Livia Voldar and Peering Kiran Huntmaster of the Fells. So basically our opponent is also doing the Jund plan, except just straight Jund. They're kind of building a better board than us. But I think, so next turn I think we're just going to have to kill Huntmaster with Necrotor, because Huntmaster could get out of hand. I suppose another thing we could do is play Phyrexian Mesomorph and make a copy of Huntmaster. If they let us flip, it will just kill our Huntmaster. Savannah? Do we have any double white? Yeah, so Savannah's better. Well, no, because we could get Temple Garden and we don't have to shock ourselves now. We might be draw an uneffect shock. We don't have to shock ourselves with draw Savannah later. Whisperwood Elemental, so let's just Necrotal Huntmaster, because this can block a lot of that. It can block everything except Catacomb Sifter. So our opponent gets to scry. I haven't played any limited in a long time, apart from just drafts at my local game store. So this is I have to remember how to do stuff that isn't merfolk or humans, or as I've been testing on the beta copycat. They scry to the top. So next turn I think we can't play Whisperwood unless we draw the land. Phyrexian Metamorph we might do for something. Otherwise I think... okay, so they're sacrificing something. Might go from Olivia Voldaren to start that chain, because that could be powerful. Or Peering Kiran the La. Gilded Lotus, so they've got 8 mana available to them now. So there is maybe a potential ramp theme going on for them. But it looks like this is going to be their turn though. Which means we can actually do something quite cool here. Which is... not doing anything this turn. Can play a Phyrexian Metamorph and make our own Gilded Lotus. And then we can use that... if we play Sacred Foundry, we could play the Whisperwood Elemental. Which does put us down low. We could also play Olivia Voldaren out, because that means next turn we could do some silly things with Olivia. Which I actually think we're going to do. So we had black, 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 red, Olivia Voldaren. We'll have 8 mana next turn. Sorry, yeah, we'll have 8 mana next turn, so we can start stealing things. And then we'll play a Temple of Science for the scry. Yeah, I'll keep Path to Exile on top. So we'll see what our opponent does. I feel like if we get to untap, we're in a very decent spot. We'll start doing silly things with Olivia. They're going to tap all their Gilded Lotus mana for no reason. This is why I like Phyrexian Metamorph, even though obviously we're having to pay Phyrexian mana for every time. Just being able to steal something like this can be quite powerful. Because if they want to start doing lots of things because they've got lots of mana, we can match that. Because we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 8 mana next turn, 9 if we use the Sacred Foundry. Like, we can steal something with Olivia, or we can Whisperwood Elemental and Peering Kiran the La and really gum up the board. And we'll see what they do, because I mean, I guess the tricky thing that knowing we've got the mana to use Olivia is they could play something and know that we could Olivia Voldara and steal it if it's a creature. Verdurous Gearhulk. So let's see what they're doing here. Maybe if they spread the counters around, that's interesting. In which case, I'd be maybe more tempted to go everything up with Whisperwood. This is why Legacy Cube can be great. This is just like this is two mid-range decks just playing haymakers. It'll be interesting to see how they distribute the counters here. So they distribute fairly equally. So Catacomb Sister becomes a 4/5, Verdurous Gearhulk 5/5, Wolf 3/3. So I think we're going to have to take 3 off the Wolf. And I think we'll steal Verdurous Gearhulk because it can block Catacomb Sifter. And I'm going to throw Necrotal under the bus. I mean, to us, our best draw. Actually, we're drawing Path, so this actually works out quite well for us. I did forget that we were drawing Path. So Olivia needs... Okay, so let's steal this Verdurous Gearhulk. Let's add black, black, black. I want to hold up Path mana, so... Gain control of this. I'm going to hold back on a defensive for now. Play a tap Sacred Foundry. Hope no one's got Blood Moon in this cube, because we could be in trouble. And then we'll see what they do. We should be able to hold them off. I forgot about Olivia Voldara getting +1/+1 counters as well. It's been a while since I've seen that in a Jund list in Modern. But I feel somewhat safe. I mean, there's a chance we get burnt out. We are down to 7. But we're going to be able to start stealing stuff or just playing out a lot of ridiculous swings. Olivia will soon be able to start getting in for a hefty chunk of damage. And we've got the safety of a Path to Exile. Four mana? 5 mana? Just realised Dark Confidant's is going to have some heavy hits for us. The amount of damage we're taking here, I wish I would have maybe kept an eye out for something with Lifelink. Because I know we've done at least 4 damage to ourselves. Well, I think Olivia's got them in an awkward position, because I assume they can't remove Olivia at the moment. Otherwise I feel like they would have already. That playing any creature can just get immediately stolen by Olivia. And that's quite powerful. I guess the downside for us is, of course, it's only as long as we control Olivia, so if they do find a way to remove it, we're not in a great spot. Potentially want to find Mother of Runes to protect it. Okay, so Primal Command. Put target non-creature opponent on top of its owner's library, so they're putting our Sacred Foundry there. That's kind of interesting, because if they did that with... Oh, non-creature opponent, of course. Then they search their library for a creature card and then put it into their hand. So let's see what they're getting. Does seem to have some elements of a ramp deck in here. I also could have put the Gilded Lotus away. But instead they're just slowing us down on land. And let's see what they find. Because it could tell us whether we want to hold at this path or not. Because at the moment, unless they do something with the mana here, there's nothing I see that's that strong. They've got Yavimaya Elder. What does that do? When it dies, search your library for up to 2 basic lands, reveal them, put them in challenge for your library. So basically, if they sacrifice this, they get 2 basic lands into their hand and they draw a card. I mean, it's good value, but it's not the worst. Also, I can just kill this, and they get the 2 basic lands, but they're not going to get to draw. So if they really need the mana, which would surprise me, or there's something going on here, there are shenanigans afoot. So I don't want to find out what those shenanigans are, so let's just kill that. They do get the scry as well. But I know, I just want them to draw the card. We don't need to steal anything just yet. So what do they get? Swamp and Forest. Maybe they need a double black. And they're going to scry to either the top or the bottom. We can still play Whisperwood Elemental. So they scry to the bottom, so let's play this. Don't shock ourselves. Green, green, green. Green, black, Whisperwood. And let's start putting the pressure on with Olivia. Still get to hold up path. We manifest. Godly Shrine. So again, this comes quite handy because like we kind of want to manifest lands at this point. They're just free blockers. What's the other thing? Sacrifice it. Oh yeah, so we're now sort of wrath proof. I do not miss the days of playing against that in standard. Just the Whisperwood mirrors. So they play a Temple of Silence for a scry. Scry that to the top. So they've got a draw they want next turn. No attacks. Don't want to pass anything yet. Dark Confidant, you are not a draw I wanted. So let's take away some scry triggers. Need to remember to keep up path mana. I'm doing this because it increases the clock on our opponent. Because it just allows us to attack with more things. We get to hold up path too. I really don't want to play Dark Confidant. I really don't. So manifest Sylvan Library, which is again we don't like. Sylvan Library is very powerful, especially early, but late you don't really want to be taking this damage when we've got this kind of thing going on. So here comes their big play. 8 mana. 8 mana is a lot of mana. Are we getting Bane fired? That would suck. Rakdos Return. Well, that will kill us. Yep. Okay, so that's one to watch out for. So this is kind of like a mid-range matchup. I felt like we had the better of that for a while. Kind of feel happy with our makeup of the deck here. I think Kalatas may come in. Feels like can do some solid work here. What might we not want? Elspeth, Shriekmaw. I think I'll bring Kalatas in, just because this will just dominate the life game matchup. Dominate the life game matchup. It just feels like very good in these mana mid-range matchups. Maybe it's Necrotal seems okay. I mean, we've got Necrotal and Bone Shredder and Shriekmaw. And I think what's sticking out to me is they did have some black creatures. So I wonder if I'm going to take out Necrotal as the most expensive one, because Shriekmaw is effectively a 2. So I'll try that. Yeah, it felt like we'd wrested control of that game. Didn't see any removal from them. But yeah, the Rakdos' return's pretty brutal. I think one of the keys might be taking away that mana ramp. That's why stuff like Sonic Dryads or Path could come in handy. I like this hand. Like, we've got plenty of early stuff to do. Deathrite Shaman on turn 1 seems good. We've got a path and we can ramp into some pretty powerful things. So let's keep. Feels like you're playing Legacy sometimes. Just turn 1 Bayou, Deathrite Shaman. And if anything ends up in the graveyard, Arbor Elf. So it feels like our opponent has a fairly heavy ramp plan that we may want to try and slow down. There's a Badlands, that's a third land. But we're not doing anything this turn. Nothing in the graveyard yet, so we'll just play this tapped Godless Shrine and attack with our Deathrite. Hissing Quagmire for the opponent. Let's see what they do. Worth noting that Sonic Dryads can sometimes be a land destruction spell. Not against this deck because it's got green in it, but card of many uses. Fetch land would be good here to allow us to do something silly, but still nothing in there. So let's play the Badlands. Yeah, well, hopefully would have found a fetch in a moment. Guess we'll attack and pass, and hopefully find a fourth land, because then we can start doing stuff with Elspeth or Whip. Tiger. So opponent's on 4 mana as well. Devoted Druid. Okay, so this is definitely a more counter heavy deck. Ramp heavy deck. Can't speak today. I am going to path that Devoted Druid purely because that can allow for some very silly things to happen, and we could just get Rakdos return next turn. Could just get Rakdos returned because they could make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm just going to path this because that would pretty much end the game. And they might still go for the Rakdos' return. It kind of feels like what they're playing towards. So part of me is actually tempted to play the Whip of Erebos because, which we can now. Play the Whip of Erebos because if they make us discard everything, we can start whipping stuff back. And we're not under any pressure at the moment. So we need. So we've got double black, we need double white as well, so let's get Scrubland. Play all black. Deathrite can now get in for 1. We can do some ramping with it next turn. Or we can make an opponent lose 2 life. But we can't actually use the mana turn, so let's just get some lifelink in there. I guess I did say we don't have lifelink, but we do have Kalatas, even if it is out of board, and I guess Whip as well is good lifelink. So yeah, forget Rakdos return, we can maybe do some stuff with that. But our opponent does seem to be ramping up quite heavily, which I'm a little worried about. I think next turn I'll play Elspeth, just because Elspeth can start taking the game away quite hard. Third just Gear Hulk. Let's see what happens to the Gear Hulk if it just makes an 8/8 trampler here, or if spread the counters around. Okay, so this is a bit more aggressive. They're going for making a big Arbor Elf. So we're going to get under some pressure here. So let's see what we can do. Swamp. So we can make 6 mana this turn. And unfortunately, Verdure Hulk does trample over. We might just play Elspeth out. We can block here, gain 1. The trample would not kill Elspeth this turn. And maybe next turn we could do something along the lines of playing out Kalatas and start doing some shenanigans. We could also Song of the Dryads the Gear Hulk at some point, but let's try and distract them from our life total a little bit and see if we can just get some blocking on. And hopefully next turn we can either find an answer or just... because I think I might Song of the Dryads the Verdure Hulk, because the Arbor Elf we can kind of block infinitely with Elspeth. But I think this is one of the downsides, is that the Arbor Elf, like, ramping is pretty powerful in Cube, just because of the power of what you can do. I mean, really what we need to do is find something like a Terminate, just to reset things a little, because again, like, we can jump block here and maybe deal with Verdure Hulk next turn. But if they play another big threat out, we're in quite a bit of trouble. They chose to do nothing though, so either they're on all lands or something. Okay, so I think that's Song of the Dryads. Could have actually got in with Deathrite Charm for some damage though. So, especially I don't want to give them more ramp. Let's just kind of get that out of the way. Let's get Deathrite to remove something. Let's play blue, because why not? Because we can pay for Kalatas. And make another soldier. Foreign doesn't do anything in our end step. I'm wondering what they've got, to be honest. Hissing Quagmire is about to become a bit of a pain, I think, as well. Ideally, we want to find a removal spell. Yeah, because Hissing Quagmire can kind of get in now. I'll take the Quagmire hit, and then just jump with Arbor Elf a bit more. Because finding a removal spell and getting a zombie on Kalatas could be quite good, or just taking away this Arbor Elf. And the other thing as well is if we find a way to just kind of stall it out, Elspeth's other +1, giving a creature +3/+3 and flying on the Kalatas, will quickly swing any race. Ah, yes, this is the thing, it's both for Elspeth. Don't like doing this, I won't lie. But we'll get a zombie out the deal. And we'll protect Elspeth. They are attacking Elspeth rather than us, which indicates they might not have a way to deal with it. And I guess we also have the option of whipping back Kalatas at some point. Only when you can do a sorcery. Ooh, Dark Confidant, that was not a bad one. So we're just going to put the shields up a bit now. And do we start whipping back now? I mean, we're not doing anything else with our mana, so... might as well start pressuring the opponent, because we can produce a chump blocker fairly quickly, but now we can actually add some pressure on as well. And they need to pressure us, because Dark Confidant will take over the game. I guess we could have kept it's better whipping Erebos than just exiling it with a Deathrite Shaman. Let's see what's happening here. Gilded Lotus. So what I'm kind of fearing is they've got so much mana they could play like an Emrakul or a Kozilek at some point. or an Ulamog. Because we did see Emrakul's in there. Phyrexian Arena, so that's going to pressure your life total a bit more, but now we've kind of got the symmetry with the Bob effects. I'm kind of wondering about the rules question. If I draw a Phyrexian Metamorph and I copy Verduskier Hulk, do I get the Verduskier Hulk or do I get Forest? Because I have no idea. Opponent's got a lot of mana, so I'm just fearing what they can do with it right now. Kind of want to try and end the game sooner rather than later. And because we've got the spare chump blocker, I might give something +3/+3 in flying, just to really start putting the pressure on. Because we've got 2 damage on board from this, so if we say did this to Confidant, 5, 7, 8, puts them down to 6. So we'll see. They're not able to attack us now either, or... Was the Elphus... Okay, we're a long way from that. So, we'll reveal off Bob. Gideon Jura and Bone Shredder. Okay, those were both good draws. We can't do both at the moment, though. But I think we probably want to go for Gideon Jura, because that gives us a fairly powerful effect. So let's attack with Dark Confidant. 5, 7, 9, 10. Sorry, I was just checking if I could have actually won there. I think I probably could, because it would. Oh no, because I can't. Yeah, so 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, but maybe it would have been a better option. But then again, we have the surprise Bone Shredder as well, so. So let's play Gideon. End of turn, we'll exile our own Path to Exile. Get 2 more in. Okay, we're going to go to a game 2. I'm going to quickly have a think in silence about what I should board in. That definitely isn't me going to the bathroom. So having a bit more of a think about what we could potentially bring in. Because I feel like the main thing is to deal with the early ramp, like Condemn is not really going to happen. Anger of the Gods, sure, I guess rid of a lot of that ramp, but doesn't really do much else. It actually did look like it would kill a fair few things, but... Sensei's Dividing Top, I've now realized, is actually a fairly good combination with Sylvan Library. I think. I have no idea. Sylvan Library is very complicated with the rules, and I'll probably end up killing myself with it, which is one of the reasons I'm a bit wary of having it in the deck. Ratchet Bomb could also kill some early mana dorks, but seems too slow for that, so I'm just going to keep it the same. This hand seems not great. While we can path something early, we kind of need to draw at least 2 lands. And even then, Monastery Mentor is very underwhelming with all this, I think. So, we'll mulligan. We're on the draw, so we get Scry. I'll keep this. I won't keep that, though. Because our opponent hasn't actually shown us a single piece of removal yet, and Dark Confidant could just really overtake the game. Summoning Dryads could stop something silly. There was no turn 1 mana elf either, which is nice. Scry 1, Whisperwood Elemental. Yeah, I'll keep that. It seems like it'll go up the board nicely against what they're doing. One thing, we've seen some powerful stuff, but it feels like if we can go up the board, we're okay. Will this be nothing again? So let's see if Dark Confidant lives. Let's get our second black and second green out. Next turn we might Song of the Dryad something. We might Phyrexian Metamorph something. If I trusted, if I really wanted to be greedy, I could Phyrexian Metamorph Dark Confidant. Draw 3 cards a turn. Opponent goes for Phyrexian Arena. So basically they're doing the same thing that Dark Confidant is, except they'll only ever lose 1 life, whereas we might lose like 5 if we draw the wrong thing. Or 4. Okay, so we can't play Olivia Voldaren yet, but what we will play is Monastery Mentor and see if we can get silly with that. Again, a thing we could do if we had, if I had a hand that was a bit more busted, or had a lot more non-creature spells, is that we could play Monastery Mentor, like we just did, then play Phyrexian Metamorph to make a second Mentor, and then you're getting 2 monks each time. But we'll see. Opponent has no red mana at the moment, and doesn't seem to have the quickest hand. It's tricky, because we haven't seen it remove Skin Render. So will they kill Monastery Mentor or Dark Confidant, I wonder? Both are pretty threatening. I'm going to kill Monastery Mentor. So I'm going to let us draw the extra cards with Confidant. Ooh, Path to Exile and Mother of Runes. So we've got extra insurance now on removing Bob before he kills us. So let's play just the Mother of Runes. Kind of need to find another land. We could also Phyrexian Metamorph Skin Render. We could also Song of the Dryads, our own creature. Yeah, I'm not thrilled by the position we're in at the moment. Because our opponent's matching the symmetry of us in terms of drawing the cards, just they're killing them a lot less quicker. But we'd like to find that 5th land, especially if it's a red land, because again, Olivia Voldaren feels like it can have the most effect on this game. And if we get to untap with Mother of Runes, that's a pretty good spot for us. Just basically blanking removal spells. I know we haven't seen any, but it also means we can just push through damage. Opponent is thinking. Yeah, it feels crucial to get a land. Like Whisperwood Elemental could start putting the pressure on. In a weird way, we were almost drawing 3 cards a turn then, our normal one, our Dark Confidant one, and then yeah, whatever we find off Whisperwood. So they attacked. We're not going to block. I think I want to find. Okay, so there's a hero's downfall. So they scared him over Mother of Runes, and they did have removal. So Giraga Tree Speaker. I mean, in theory, it isn't that threatening now. So they can level it up. So pay 2 to level it up, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not sure if I want to kill that yet, especially because we could Olivia Voldaren it at some point. Okay, so we could Song of the Dryads and Path to Exile. We could Olivia Voldaren and Path to Exile. We could Shriekmaw with Evoke and play Song of the Dryads or Path to Exile. What I'm saying is we've got options. Could Phyrexian Metamorph and put ourselves to 5? Okay, no, I think I really want to start doing stuff with Olivia Voldaren sooner rather than later. So I'm going to play Olivia out. And then see what happens. My fear is that we're getting very close to being Rakdos returned out. In fact... what I'm going to do, I'm going to path the Garaga Tree Speaker just for that eventuality. I also just wanted them to stop dropping Haymakers because they've kept a very slow hand, which makes me think it's filled with top end. Obviously, this will get them the mountain they need for Rakdos return, but you can't do much about that. Then if they attack with Skin Render, then I am going to block with Dark Confidant. Yeah, I feel the fact we do a lot of damage to ourselves is coming back to haunt us a bit. So they're going to read the bones. Scry 2, draw 2, lose 2. Shriekmaw unfortunately can't kill Skin Render, so they go bottom, bottom. So they're digging for something. Just realised, Shriekmaw also can't kill Dark Confidant, so we might have to use Olivia Voldaren to kill Dark Confidant if need be. Yeah, I would feel okay about this, but the Rakdos return, knowing that's there, is worrying me. Fertile Grounds. Yeah, this is like a weird mid-range ramp deck. There's a Catacomb Sifter, so that's going to go up the ground a bit more. Yeah, they're not gonna attack because they know we can block with Dark Confidant now. Deal 4 to ourselves. So unfortunately, I think we have to kill Dark Confidant ourselves. And then let's play Brimaz. I mean, we're dead to Rakdos' return. I mean, that might have been what they're playing for. The fact they've said GG makes me think that that's what they've got. Which is unfortunate. I mean, we could have played around it, but we always knew that's what we had to beat. I think we would have been fine. I think it's the difficulty of like Dark Confidant versus Phyrexian Arena. Phyrexian Arena's gonna win. Yeah. Very interesting games though. Very interesting games. So let's jam another one. But yeah, it's a tricky one because makes me think maybe we want Kalitas mainboard. Just for the added lifelink, because we do actually do a fair bit of damage to ourselves. Can we view the deck while it looks? Yeah. So I guess like, okay, we found an opponent very quickly. But between like having the fetch lands, the shock lands, Sylvan Library, Dark Confidant, and Phyrexian Metamorph, we actually do a lot of damage to ourselves. So maybe we wanted to keep an eye out for lifelink more. But that's a hell of a game of Magic. I'd love to keep the sand, but unfortunately we can't. If we had a fetch land, I probably would. But unfortunately we can't, so we'll mulligan that. This isn't fantastic, but I feel like we will keep it and put that on the bottom. Probably actually shouldn't have kept this. This is basically because we're nowhere near playing Whispered Elemental. I think I was just like willing to just keep a land with hands, a hand with lands, purely because we've got a fairly expensive deck. Our curve is quite high. Because ideally we would want... Ooh, Thalia. This could be like mono white aggro. Savannah's quite good. In which case, I think we're... I don't know how we are against that. Let's get Monetary Mentor out though. This time we sit on the opposite side of Thalia, unlike the humans videos. But yeah, it's like, I feel like... There's a Declaration Stone for that. I feel like we would almost want stuff like... We would almost want cards like Garanga Tree Speaker that our opponent had, purely because it allows Phyrexian Metamorph. That's not fantastic. It just purely allows for silly things like... Oh, I could have played Deathrite Shaman there. Whoops. There's an Emir Angel. Because it allows for like getting those really key turn 4 mana, 5 mana cost cards out very early. I'm going to shock ourselves here so we can actually play Sarkhan, except we can't because I'm an idiot. Even when I'm not playing humans, I forget about Thalia. This might be controversial. I'm actually going to make a copy of Emir Angel. And again, I messed that up because I could have played the land there. So basically, that was a whole bunch of misplays. Next time we can play Sarkhan. I just want to kind of stabilize ourselves a little bit. Mono white aggro. Glad we've got that Anger of Gods in the sideboard. Next turn we can play Sarkhan. I'm going to take this for now because the plan is to use Sarkhan to kill the Emir Angel. And we can get our own value off the Emir Angel. I also assume they are not offering that trade unless they have a way to live for it. Whip of Erebos could be interesting. Unfortunately, Baneslayer Angel is quite devastating in many ways. Don't have many things that can tussle with that. Can't play Wisp. I mean, we could play the Whip of Erebos and take that trade next time. Baneslayer Angel was quite tricky to deal with, I won't lie. Probably would have been quite different had we not completely messed up that turn with the Shockland and playing the Deathrite Shaman at the wrong time. We're just going to throw birds under the bus at this Baneslayer Angel. Ooh, Leonin Relic Warder. That will remove our Phyrexian Metamorph. But actually, it's an interesting one, that, because it does remove our Phyrexian Metamorph. However, if we get rid of that Leonin Relic Warder, that can come back as a Baneslayer Angel. They're going to get rid of that, so I guess they really want to kill Sarkhan, or they just want to kill us. So the bird killed Sarkhan. I guess we have to throw Deathrite Shaman under the bus. It's not really doing anything for us here. Let's see what we find. Bone Shredder. It's not bad. Keeps us alive for a turn. We could have killed Leonin Relic Warder to get out the Baneslayer, but I feel like that's probably what we should have done. Boy, this is not a good video for me not making terrible plays. Because we should have killed Leonin Relic Warder in a heartbeat and make our own Baneslayer Angel there. Now we have to throw this under the bus of something with 2 power. We'll go to 1. And then I need to think of what could possibly save us here. Now we need to kill Leonin Relic Warder, get the Metamorph back so it can do something. Whip of Erebos. Oh, Whip of Erebos might help us out here. Oh, Whip of Erebos actually helps us out a lot here. if we could use it, because we can't because we don't have enough mana. We're dead. Okay. A lot of that was down to me, I won't lie. So this is like an aggro deck. So I think Anger of the Gods, Kalatas, Condemn come in. Let's take out... let's take out Pia and Kirandalar, because it seems a bit slow. And let's take out Sylvan Library. Yeah. And what else? Something expensive to slow the curve down. Could be Whisperwood Elemental, maybe. Sarkhan's at least removal. Shriekmore's removal. Gideon Jura's removal. Monastery Mentor could be too slow here, so I'll take that out. That's unfortunate. I feel like we probably would have been in good shape that game had I not completely punted it. We're doing a lot more mulliganing this turn. I guess the advantage to going mono white in cube is I think like it's in vintage cube you can go mono red and it's very powerful, and then in legacy cube it's mono green, mono white. I will keep a Badlands on top. I'll play an Arid Mesa and not fetch it because we've got a Badlands on top. The Arid Mesa can get our green or a second black source if need be. Well, probably Bayou is then what we want to get. But yeah, there was a lot of misplays in that one. So sorry about that. Kithian, Hero of Akros. Yeah, let's get that Scrubland. Actually, again, I think I said this before. I'm going to get Scrubland because Scrubland can come in untapped. Sorry, Savannah. Savannah can come in untapped. Sorry. Just not with it today, my brain's off. I'm going to get Temple Garden, because Temple Garden we can bring in untapped now, whereas we could draw Savannah later and just play it straight up, whereas Temple Garden we might have to shock ourselves. So we could Song of the Dryad Scythia now, but I'd rather just get the Scry off Temple of Silence. Godless Shrine. Don't think I want another land. Yeah, sorry, I seem to be very, very just off today in terms of thinking like a normal human. Mirren Crusader, that's pretty nasty. I think Mirren Crusader is going to be a problem. We're going to have to kill that with Sarkhan, basically. I'm going to Song of Dryad's Kithian now, just to use the mana. Next turn we can use Sarkhan to kill Mirren Crusader. Or if anything else nasty comes out, we can use Shriekmore to deal with that. Because we could see a Baneslayer here, and I'd rather deal with that quite quickly. Yeah, there's Baneslayer. So I'm going to Shriekmore that, because also that means if we just play Sarkhan to kill the Mirren Crusader, the Baneslayer will just finish it off. Anger of the Gods could prove useful soon. So let's cast. We don't need to use the Evoke. There goes Baneslayer. And best case scenario, they could play out a few other things with 3 or less toughness, and we could get a good value Anger here. Brimaz is not what I was hoping for. Leonin Relic Warder. Ah, gets rid of Song of the Dryad. Neat. So, I think the plan is going to be take 4 damage, unfortunately. I'm going to attack with Shriekmore in the hopes... Oh no, Brimaz can't block it anyway, unfortunately. Yeah, that was... could have hoped for another land there. I think we just have to anger of the gods and accept that we're going to take some beats off Brimaz. That we might have to just vindicate. Or... Oh, wait, hang on, no, because we will lean in Relic Hoarder. Song of the Dryads will come back, we could put that on Brimaz. I think. Alright, let's find out. Let's actually also pay the correct amount of mana for this spell. Hey! Okay. And hopefully next time we draw a land so we can start doing... If they play out more stuff, we can Vindicate and Liliana. And the Air Angel. So, Liliana can certainly kill the birds. But now I would definitely like to find a land so I can do that and Vindicate. I feel like if we can weather this early storm... Whip of Erebos, it's not amazing. Actually, let's use that mana effect of... Well, no, because if we Sarkhan, the bird just kills it. So... Let's Vindicate a Mirror Angel. I begin to wonder if Whip of Erebos is actually maybe a bit... We don't have really enough targets for it. Yeah, ideally I just want to find a land so I can do multiple things a turn. Spectral Procession, that's kind of annoying. Lightning Greaves, less annoying. Could become annoying though. Down to 7. Well, there's that land. A bit late though. Because we really wanted that last turn. Kind of... I feel like we're not really out the woods, that's the problem. I guess that's the kind of problem, like, with, you can build an aggro deck like this and just, like, everything's a threat. Secure the waste for 1. Looks like they just want to... Ravages of War. Oh, okay, now I can see how this can work. So I guess this is the... Yes, now Liliana's going to die. They have some 1/1s and we're dead. And Liliana's dead. Oh no, they're attacking us. That might give us some salvation, but no. So I guess, yeah, I guess there's one advantage to an aggro deck is you can just do that. Okay, so we lose that one. I look like an idiot. Because I feel like we probably would have won that first game had I not made a plethora of misplays. So, there's that. And this kind of kind of plays into what I was saying during the draft, which I tried to avoid, but I guess kind of didn't really listen to my own advice, is that the thing with cube decks, at least with with Magic Online, Legacy and Vintage Cubes, is that you shouldn't really try and play fair, because sometimes, like, people will do unfair things that go over the top of you, because the first one, although we felt it was somewhat of a mid-range mirror. Like, the fact that they could ramp out stuff and make ridiculous amounts of mana kind of got to us in the end, because the 2 games we lost is just because they were able to generate a very large amount of mana and just Rakdos return us out. And then that one, the first game we kind of lost largely to misplays. But in the second instance, it's like, well, the problem there was that that in game 2 is like we could have stabilized, but having all our lands destroyed, which is a very unfair thing, just overpowered us completely. Opponent has played a Utopia Sprawl, so this is probably a ramp deck. So I don't know what the ramp targets are, but I'm fairly scared of them. But enough to kill like any mana ramp. So okay, so this is definitely a ramp deck with Llanowar Elves and Corsair Prefix. So they're going to draw Llanowar Elves next turn. What are we going to draw with Dark Confidant. Shriekmore, Wall of Omens. So let's play the Forest. Let's Bone Shredder Courser to kind of slow them down. We might need to just pressure them a bit here. Song and Terminate are not what I want to use purely because they can take out any threat that we see. But it doesn't look like they're going to be pressuring our life total that much. So hopefully Bob doesn't do too much to us. I think I'm going to, no matter what happens to Cyber, I'm going to take out Whip of Erebos for Kalatas. Whip hasn't been very impressive, and it kind of feels like it's a bit slow. We don't really have enough creatures for it. And also it's not like a lot. I mean, some of the creatures we're bringing back are great, and in a grinding matchup it's probably fantastic, but in these ones, probably less so. So it's Brimaz. I'm not going to pay the Echo cost. So basically what Echo is, if you haven't seen it before, Echo is, you can play the card as normal, but on the beginning of your upkeep, you have to pay the Echo cost or it's sacrificed. I'm going to attack with Bob here. If they want to take out their own mana, if they don't want to use their mana elf, that's fine. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana next turn. So I'm going to shock ourselves so we can play a Deathrite Shaman and Brimaz. So kind of put the pressure on. Next turn we've got potentially 2 removal spells. Well, we've got 2 removal spells between Terminate and Shriekmore. If we find another black source, actually. This is kind of the other problem with running a 4-colour deck, is that the mana's complicated. Without the fetch lands, it's quite hard to smooth out. Deranged Hermit. When it enters the battlefield, create 4 1/1 squirrel tokens. Squirrels get +1/+1. Echo 5. Well, this is a new one. So they can pay that Echo cost. So eventually, they've got a bunch of 2/2s. Oh god, Gaia's Cradle. Okay. Now I'm a bit worried. I don't like Gaia's Cradle. So they can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana right now. And the temptation for me is to actually just straight up Forest to the Gaia's Cradle, because next turn we're looking at like Ulamog and Emrakul proportions of cards. I fear here with 6 mana, like there's some powerful stuff, but I kind of fear Primeval Titan. Oh, they're Convoking. Convoking for something big. So chord, so that'll be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see what they're chording out. Chord for 4. What's the most terrifying 4-colour creature I can think of in green? Because the only one I can think of is like Thrun and Obstinate Baloth, are the only ones that are coming to mind. I know I'm forgetting stuff. It's also not just a green creature, is it? So 4 mana. What's terrifying at 4 mana? I have no idea. Pelucranos. So green. So they can Monstrosity Pelucranos as well. I mean, it's annoying, but it doesn't feel like it was the worst thing that could have happened. So Monstrosity X. They're going to kill Bob only? I mean, that's annoying, but I mean, the Confidant was putting us under a bit of pressure anyway. Whip of Erebos, that could be interesting. I'm just going to determine... Well, actually, that's Wall of Omens first. In fact, they called it out Pelucranos. I didn't cast anything, makes me think that they don't have anything busted off the Gaia's Cradle just yet, maybe? Whisperwood, you're not what we wanted. So let's terminate Pelucranos. And attack with Brimaz. So the cat soldier won't get in, but Brimaz will get in for free. So do they pay the echo costs? I guess that's the question. They do. I guess it's quite easy with Gaia's Cradle. But then again, if they have to use the Gaia's Cradle mana now, it's gone in the upkeep, so it's not the worst result for us. So this turn they're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, just 5 mana so far. 6 mana. But yeah, I don't know if we find a land, we can maybe Shriekmaw something out. So Nature's Law, so they're searching out a forest. It kind of implies they don't have a massive threat in hand. They still might Song of Dryads the Gaia's Cradle anyway. Temple of Silence. That's not particularly what we wanted. But we'll scry anyway. Mother of Runes. Not necessarily what I want right now. So, 1, 2, 3. So my feeling is that they could draw something ridiculous like Ulamog and Emrakul and cast it off Gaia's Cradle. So maybe you Song of Gaia's Cradle, or you kill Deranged Hermit. Because Deranged Hermit is stopping us attacking. It also means if they draw something like Craterhoof, well, I think if they draw Craterhoof, the squirrels are kind of terrifying anyway. And Death Ray Shaman's not kind of worked out that well for us. I kind of want to use Shriekmaw for full value, but I guess I can whip it back soon anyway. I mean, it won't stick around, but let's go take out Hermit, Deranged Hermit. Just kind of make the squirrels a bit more manageable. Can't really attack with Brimaz at the moment either, unfortunately. Exile a creature card, so we can gain 2 life at the end of turn. Guess we'll get rid of... Okay, so here's a Gaia's Cradle activation. Frag Tusk. It's not great. What do I want you to have least? Probably don't want you to have no Deranged Hermit, so let's gain some life. Scrubland. We might have to take a hit off Fraggy, but I'm gonna get the whip out for now. The lifelink's probably gonna come in handy. I'm gonna the next turn try and whip back Shriekmaw to deal with this Frag Tusk. Or Bone Shredder. Actually, we'll whip back Shriekmaw first. We'll whip it back last because it can get through. So Frag Tusk isn't attacking. Liliana, that's not a bad draw. My opponent isn't attacking. We could start picking off squirrels. I'm gonna start picking off squirrels. Because honestly, for me, the most terrifying thing at the moment is the Gaia's Cradle. Now, if we can start removing the squirrels and the Llanowar elves, I'm going to remove Llanowar elves first, purely because it makes mana. As far as I'm concerned, that's it slows down the Gaia's Cradle to maybe stop doing as ridiculous things over time. So in case they top deck into a massive threat. The other thing with Liliana is if we are able to, the -2 is going to get us back a Shriekmaw or Bone Shredder. So at the moment I've got access to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 mana. I think I'm going to Forest of the Song of the Dryads that Frag Tusk before something ridiculous happens. Or it looks like it's happening now. 9, 10 mana. It's Ulamog, that's kind of crushing. And we can actually deal with the Ulamog. That's the worst thing. I say worst thing. That's the reassuring thing is that we can deal with Ulamog. We'll probably get rid of Brimaz and Liliana. But yeah, Song of the Dryads might just make it them just a little bit slow. 8 mana. What's 8 mana? I mean, burn spells are 8 mana. That's the other thing like stuff like Banefire. Green Sun Zenith for 7. So I just got a... So, Polychronos... I'm just listing out the threats they can get. Avenger of Zendikar. So that gets a bunch of naught ones, and whenever you landfall they all get +1/+1. Ooh. So they've made a bunch of 1/2s. Now they can just start attacking fairly freely into us at some point. Let's gain some life. Possibly we should be actually pressuring them. Sylvan Library is an interesting one. Kind of want to take out Avenger of Zendikar now, to be honest. Well, in an ideal world, I could do both. Right. So... At the beginning of your upkeep, you may draw 2 additional cards. If you do, choose 2 cards in your hand drawn this turn. For each of those cards, pay 4 life or put the card on top of your library. It does feel like it's pretty powerful. Right. Squirrel. Let's play the library. If we're going to start messing around with Sylvan Library shenanigans, let's get some damage through in the meantime. So Shriekmaw, let's kill Avenger of Zendikar. Let's attack in, gain 3 life. I guess Liliana Ultimate might be our way through this in the end, actually. It wouldn't surprise me if they just start attacking Liliana kind of all out, because the Liliana Ultimate will win the game for us. Most likely, because it'll get through all this gummed up board. Wonder if I should have taken out this guy's cradle earlier to stop them doing silly things. So let's see if they attack out at Liliana. And imagine if they do attack out at Liliana, as we gain a fair bunch of life. En route. Yep. So here our opponent... Fragtusk is attacking us, interestingly. Oh no, it doesn't. Just a tip if you're on Magic Online, there is a button that allows you to just attack everything. Saves you clicking everything like this. And it doesn't look like they're attacking everything for some reason, but... You know. And eventually, we will gain some amount of life. And it will suck to lose Liliana, but... You know, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Because even if we block Fragtusk... Well, yeah, even if we block Fragtusk... we'll lose Liliana. I guess the only way we couldn't... No, we have to lose Liliana either way. Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. I mean... I gained some life. It means with Sylvan Library we can start just drawing the best things. Oh, Beast Within. Nasty. So we're losing the life link aspect, so... I forget this is a May. So yeah, let's draw those. Let's put the lands back. For each of those, if you draw 2 cards, if you do choose 2 cards in your hand draw on this turn, for each of your cards, pay 4 life or put a card on top of your library. Or pay 4 life to keep in hand. Well, now that we've lost the lifelink, I don't want to do that. So, but the advantage is now is that we can play Whisperwood and start manifesting one of those lands. Brimaz can get in here at least, I think. And the observant amongst you will have noticed that should have used my Deathrite Shaman mana a bit better there. Well, I should have used my mana a bit better to prevent stuff happening with Deathrite Shaman. So we're kind of at an impasse where we'll most likely slowly be able to win through Deathrite Shaman, but they'll also likely be able to just plop a massive thing on the board. So I think next turn we actually are going to play the Song of the Dryads on the Guy's Cradle, just to stop them doing ridiculous things. Or they could concede. That's also a thing that could happen. I'll take it. With Verobos actually seemed handy there, but not handy enough. Kalitas will come in because it doesn't actually seem great, does it? Anger of the Gods definitely comes in. Racklet Bomb is also coming in. This, if you could sacrifice it straight away and just destroy all the tokens. I wonder if we should have been playing Den Protector the whole time. Condemn is also a possibility, because if they try and get in, like, they try and curse with like a very hasty threat early, this could be a way to deal with it. Phyrexian Metamorph can cover the big stuff. Peering Kirinalar seems poor here. Gideon Jura seems average. Whisperwood seems okay. Sarkhan could get through all those tokens. Again, Monastery Mentor, it's like we've got a 40 card deck, 12 creep, we've got one. I should have checked this at the start of us. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Doesn't feel like enough, does it? And again, Brimaz, like, against a bunch of tokens isn't the greatest. It does put the pressure on though, that's the thing. Yeah, I guess Monastery Mentor goes out. Pet cards, can't get away from them. No. I mean, even with a Sylvan Library to draw 2 extra cards a turn, I'm going to be paying a lot of life to get them out. This is basically the same, but a little bit better. I will keep the Oliver Voldaren though. Let's see what mana elf they have on turn 1. Search for Tomorrow. Sort of like a mana elf. Get the bio out. But yeah, I'm going to try and do a bit more Legacy Cube if I can, because it is. The games are really fun. You can draft some kind of insane decks. It hasn't been as insane as hoped. Also, yes, I've just realised I didn't play Deathrite Shaman last turn because I am apparently just a moron today. But I will play Dark Confidant out now. I also feel like these games would have gone a bit different, but as you may have noticed, I guess for some reason I'm just all over the place today and just doing things like forgetting to play creatures. So, you know, come for the high quality content, stay for laughing at the low quality content, I suppose. Our opponent's up to 5 mana already, that's a little worrying. But hey, we're learning. Says Fragtusk. No one likes to see a Fragtusk that early, but I've got plans for that Fragtusk, and they involve Olivia Voldaren at some point. Drew 2 lands, which is quite nice. Should he use the Marsh? Yeah, should use Marsh Flats there. Oh boy. Just all over the place. I'm going to play a Deathrite Shaman out. Just because we could do the mana ramp when we eventually crack the Marsh Flats. But yeah, this is a lot of just very bad plays by me, to be honest. Fragtusk is going to pressure us fairly hard. But hopefully, like, apart from Beast Within, there isn't much interaction for this deck with us. So if we can kind of stem the tide, something like Olivia Voldaren stealing all their big threats could actually be quite a powerful effect. So we go to 15, we're going to have 5 mana next turn. We could Sylvan Library and Dark Confidant. And that's just so much card selection, so much card draw. Get to look at 4 cards every upkeep. I think next turn I just want to play Olivia out. There's a Pelucranos, so the threats are getting bigger. You might have to forego playing Olivia in lieu of actually killing something. Okay, so let's play a Marsh Flats and a Vindicate, I think. So we need a white source off this, so I think it's got to be Savannah. Scrubland could also do it. We're going to double red at some points. That would be Badlands, but then we can't cast Vindicate this turn. Deathrite Charm could actually just get the red we need for Sarkhan that turn, so let's get Badlands, because we need a fair bit of double black for stuff as well. No, don't get Badlands, you need white. Oh my god. Scrubland. Just get Scrubland. Scrubland is an appropriate statement at this point. Wow, just so all over the place. So next turn, like ideally I'd like to steal the Fragtusk at some point, but I think the plan is going to be we can kind of chump block Fragtusk and use Mother of Runes as protection for a little bit. The one thing I'm worried about, oh, they didn't attack at all. Don't know if that was an F6. This red, we haven't seen what it's for yet. Banefire's in the cube. So, oh, that's why they didn't attack. Eldritch Evolution, so they're going to get a 3/3 green beast, and they get something for 7 or more. So this could be the Avenger of Zendikar. Did they already play a land? They didn't. That's the thing. Oh, it's Dragon Lord Ataka. Oh dear. That's going to destroy our board entirely. I kind of wish I hadn't used the Vindicate on Pelucranos now. The opponent's thinking about this, but there isn't much to think about. Next turn we're going to get attacked for 11. I wonder if they're debating whether to leave Dark Confidant alive. Yeah, that Mother Rune's a little too late, so we need to find a way to deal with that. Oh, Condemn. Condemn does deal with that, actually. I mean, it is going to give our opponent 8 life, but we're going to play Olivia out now, so we can start that little chain going. Very, very slowly we can start that chain going, but hey. But we'll Condemn Dragon Lord Taka, put our opponent to 33. And our opponent's ramp actually, like, they're ramping to a lot of 5s. If this is Beast Within, that's going to be very annoying, because Olivia feels like one of our best cards in this matchup. Overgrown Battlement. So that's going to add 2 mana. And I think this is a ramp deck that seems fairly consistent and has a lot of threats. So we'll also have to bear in mind that Ataka could be Chord of Callinged out at some point. So is this now going to be the Beast Within? Yeah, that's the Beast Within. So down goes Olivia. The red source is not bad here. So let's play Sarkhan. So Sarkhan is a threat. So they're on 5 mana, but they go to 7 mana with Overgrown Battlement. So to be honest, I'm just going to take out the Battlement now, because that actually has the most potential. Like, we can trade off with the Beast, with our Beast, and our opponent's at 33, so we're not going to be closing out the game anytime soon. So we go for a long con on this one. Kodama's Reach, so they're going to get some basics. Opponent only has 2 cards in hand after this, one of which is a basic forest, so that's 2. So we'll see if they find the thing to ramp into. I guess we will start pressuring the Sarkhan at some point. Probably next turn. Savannah wasn't really what we wanted to see. Yeah, this game might have been a bit different how we made some different decisions. Well, we've got Mana for Days. Sylvan Library. We'll see what that can do. It's got potential to do a lot of damage to us, that's the downside. So is this going to be Avenger of Zendikar? Because it felt like that's what they were going for with the Overgrown Battlement, and it is. Yeah, they probably have another land as well. Yeah. I do not miss the days of Avenger of Zendikar being bonkers in standard either. So, Anger the Gods? That would be handy. Yeah, we're going to use that ability. Oh, Ratchet Bomb's just as good. Wait, let's think about this. We keep both in hand. This is risky. I think we keep both. So we go to 3, but Ratchet Bomb will deal with all the tokens. And Elspeth will create a chump blocker for the beast. So let's not shock ourselves. Let's hold up Path to Exile, if I've got no card in hand. Sarkhan will continue chipping away. So yeah, because Ratchet Bomb destroys each non-land opponent with commanded mana cost equal to number of charge counters on it, if that number's 0, it just gets rid of all the tokens. So what we're going to do, we have to let them attack. Because if we destroy our tokens, we've got nothing to jump as Avenger of Zendikar with. So we'd have to let them attack and then blow everything up. Which they know, so they're not attacking. Which kind of makes our token creation on Elspeth a little clunky, but you know. And there's actually a temptation that, because at the moment we only need the one jump blocker for Avenger, I mean, red kind of indicates some haste might come out of somewhere, is that we use the +3/+3. This is a Chord of Calling, isn't it? This is a big Chord of Calling. And we know we can get Dragon Lord Ataka out. So X is 7. So Dragon Lord Ataka is 7, isn't it? Yeah. So this can blow up just Elspeth or Sarkhan and a token. And also we don't actually have a way to deal with Dragon Lord Ataka. That's also a good point of contention. One of the downsides of Condemn when you've got against a Chord of Calling deck, so they can always chord it out again. Okay, so this is going to be a no. So 1, 2. Liliana, you're a bit late, I think. So let's try and, yeah, that's what I was not hoping for. So the idea there was that we would hit one of our destroy creatures and then use that. But unfortunately, Dragon Lord Tucker just kills us. Can we avoid the Norton 3? That's the question. Well, let's run it back. Dragon Lord Tucker's pretty nasty against us. This hand is not great because we can't cast Elspeth and we can't cast Brimaz. We do have turn 2 Dark Confidant, but as we've kind of found, that can be a bit risky in terms of just like we can't actually interact with the opponent in the meantime, and allowing them to kind of do their thing unfettered poses problems. So search for tomorrow. There's some white fixing. So yeah, I guess the idea is, you know, if drawing 2 cards a turn, we can eventually find the answers. But yeah, I kind of feel like, as I was saying before, I think part of the problem is that, oh, they've got Sylvan Library too, is that that's actually, they're a bit slower than normal in that case. Is that we're kind of playing an inherently fair game, and our opponents aren't. Well, Bob, get in. We can't do anything else this turn. And the problem is we've drawn everything that's white. Actually, the red we only had for Terminating Sarkhan, and part of me was wondering if we should have just gone straight Abzan or something in hindsight. But yeah, there's like Mother of Runes. If we can, there's not stuck around once yet because I think everyone recognises that Mother of Runes is a bit of a silly card. So they're going to draw 2. Let's see if they take any damage. Because we can potentially pressure a hand, like if they go very all in, they can't kill us quickly. We can kind of pressure that with like Elspeth and Brimaz if we find that second plains or white source. So taking 4. So they kept 1 of the cards and have gone to 4. Still only on 4 mana. I mean, I dare say that's going to change very quickly and they're going to find some ramp, but let's see what we can do. Sylvan Caryatid. So no beast within this turn. So Mother of Runes will stick around and provide some useful protection. Dark Confidant, what can you do? You can find us a Bone Shredder and a Wall of Omens. None of which seems great, to be honest. I guess we'll play the Wall of Omens first, in case we find a better land to play. Scrub land it is. There's a second white source. Attack with bow. No, don't attack with Mother Runes. We'll attack with Dark Confidant in case we can bluff something. In case they really don't want to lose Caryatid. And just hold up the Mother Runes for the protection effect. Because if it's something like Ataka happens, we may want to protect the Mother of Runes. We may want to protect Dark Confidant, we'll see. But next turn we can play Sarkhan. And Sarkhan could pressure, because there's a 4-turn clock. Elspeth would... Elspeth, like, Sarkhan has 4 damage. Elspeth sort of adds 5, because we'd get in with Dark Confidant. But Sarkhan, it really depends what our opponent plays. Really does depend on what they play. Because we may want to Bone Shredder something, we may want to play out Sarkhan to kill something. Gaia's Cradle, so... They're ramping up, but it feels like a slower ramp. So again, I think we just kind of want to try and punish this. It didn't take any damage off Sylvan Library this turn, so let's see what Bob delivers. Marsh Flats Shriekmaw. Well, I'll go for a Marsh Flats, because it can fuel a Death Right later. Thins out the deck. Get a... Bayou. Actually going to get basic plains, because we really want white sources at the moment. And I'm going to go for Elspeth as well, based off that. Holding up Condemn in case something hasty comes out. Start pressuring for 5. So this will put them down to 9. And then if we play Sarkhan next turn, we can hit for 9. Between this and pumping Dark Confidant. So let's put our opponent under pressure to find an answer now. So they are going to draw the Sylvan Library. Let's see if they take any damage. They don't. Also, we've currently got access to 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, 8 mana if they play another creature, a lot more mana if they play something like a Deranged Hermit, or the thing that made all those squirrels before. But this is the turn, because if they don't find something... Frag Tusk would also slow things down. If it's like Avenger for Zendikar, it's Dragon Lord Tarka, that's not great. I assume this is going to kill Elspeth. Yep. Okay, so we can't kill next turn. Gotta watch our own life total off Bob here. Okay, 6 mana, 6 mana, 6 mana. So what's best here? Like evoke Shriekmaw and Brimaz. Sarkhan's not going to do much in this situation. We've got to kill a Tarka, that much is clear. The question is, like, do we do a full cost Shriekmaw, because then Shriekmaw can get through with fear damage, or we do something like Bone Shredder and Brimaz. I mean, Bone Shredder would peck in for 1. I mean, Shriekmaw would also... The Shriekmaw route out also allows us to hold up Condemn. The Temple of Silence might be something I want to do. I think I'm going to go for... I haven't seen anything with haste yet, but I don't want to lose to it on the one off chance. I think we might go Shriekmaw, Brimaz. Holding up Condemn. So... It's possible we should also be, at this point, Mother of Runing's Dark Confidant out. Yeah, I'm going to start doing that. Because if they kill Dark Confidant, it's not the worst thing in the world at this point. Because it saves us losing to our own Bob. We want to hold up as much ground as possible, give them as much to think about as possible, so let's hold up white-black. So this also sets up a potential kill next turn. We could Mother of Runes, Brimaz, and then let Sarkhan do the rest. And it's possible you could go a different route of that and hold the Shriekmaw. Again, I'm just worried about something with haste. Just worried about something with haste. The other thing I'm worried about is if they play like a Deranged Hermit, that gives enough mana off Gaia's Cradle for them to then do a Banefire, which is a fireball that can't be countered or damage can't be prevented. So they're getting back a Tarka. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can cast a Tarka. A Tarka will kill Brimaz and Dark Confidant, which is frustrating. Oh, they could do this as well, because then that's 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, we can kill a Tarka again. I mean, did it kill? Well, did it kill Brimaz and Dark Confidant, or did it kill Brimaz and Mother of Runes? Because Mother of Runes could allow for other stuff to get in. Yeah. Well, gone from being quite confident to not very. Dragon Taka is a good card. Uh, okay, that was a pretty good draw. That was an excellent draw, actually. So, it's Temple of Silence. What are we going to find next turn? Terminate. Could be handy. So, what we're going to do, we're going to Bone Shredder to kill Ataka, and then we're going to Anger of the Gods, which deals with the problem of us dying to our own Dark Confidant. I also should have used Anger of the Gods there in case they can return Ataka again. But this also means all their ramp is gone. But yeah, I should have done that differently. I should have used the Anger first and then Bone Shredder Ataka, because A, we'd have a Bone Shredder we might want to echo next turn. And B, it means that Ataka will be exiled in case you have another way of returning it. So yeah, hopefully we've kept him off for long enough. This is a lot of mana vote. Is this the Banefire? I bet said I've been worried about it all game. It'd be a sad way for it to go. Oh, it's Khan. Ooh. Well, let's see what Khan does, because... Oh, exile a card from hand. I'll get rid of a forest. I guess they could go for restart the game, but... Oh man, now we've got decisions. Oh, man, if we had the Bone Shredder around, that would be ideal right now. I wouldn't be able to pay for it. We can't hold up Terminate either, which is annoying. Yeah, we've got to attack Khan. We can't let Khan ultimate, unfortunately. It does let Khan exile Sarkhan, but... And play Sylvan Library. It's possible we could have Sarkhan, then... No. Oh dear. It feels like we were doing so well. I assume Sarkhan's getting exiled here. Yeah. So Khan down to 3. And let's draw the cards. We don't have to use them. I'm not looking to draw it. Not looking forward to drawing those cards, to be honest. I mean, honestly, part of me wants to... Depending on what happens here, I might path Wall of Omens on our end step, because if we draw 2 lands in a row, we are going to lose. So as long as we don't have to path something now to win, although then, like, even if we have to kill something, we've got Terminate and Condemn. Nine mana, Tooth and Nail, search your library for 2 creatures. Oh god. So they get to find 2 creature cards and then put them into play. Avenger of Zendikar, Courser Prefix. So, with that on the stack... Let's just get rid of it. But now there's a lot of tokens. They're all naught ones, and they're never going to get bigger, but it's going to make attacking tricky. They're drawing Forest. Fortunately, I think we do have to path... They actually forgot to use Khan, but I'm going to path our own wall here, because I need the shuffle. Yeah, we'll have a 3rd mountain, why not? I want to find like Olivia Vodar or something. Oh, Vindicate, perfect. So put this on top first, then this on top. Vindicate Khan. Then we'll have to condemn Courser of Crucifix. Oh god, this is a hell of a game. So they're drawing Forest. We know that much. Well, they draw Forest when they put some cards back. So we've got to watch their library here. Oh god, there's a Chord of Calling. Yeah, I actually have to ask at this point, what can they chord out? Because they chorded out Courser of Crucifix and Avenger of Zendikar. So we're gonna let Courser of Crucifix. Oh wait, Westvale Abbey. Oh wait, we can just okay. We have to condemn Ormondal. Oh, this is a game. So we're going to draw Song of the Dryads. And they've got chord in hand, Fragtusk, so now they can chord something out as well. Because now we have to Song of the Dryads that. Okay, we're drawing Deathrite next turn. Which isn't irrelevant. As long as they can't chord out anything with haste, I think. Because next turn, like, we can Deathrite Shaman, and eventually it'll start gaining a Slive. Oh, they've still got chord on top of their library. Maybe they actually literally can't chord anything out anymore. Which is amusing. Lotus Cobra, so... It's always worth using the Sylvan Library ability because we can... God, we're actually just drawing bricks. We're actually just screwed. Unfortunately. That Lotus Cobra killed us. Because we have to trade off with the Lotus Cobra now. And then we're drawing 2 lands. Unfortunate. I felt like we were so in control. I'm getting a deranged hermit now. I felt like we were so in control, and then it just kind of got away from us a little bit. Oh wow, we were just... we were just getting absolutely nowhere with that. Felt like we were so close. Felt like we were so close. We get 10 play points. So yeah, I think I ignore my own advice of don't try and play fair in Cube. And we tried to play fair in Cube, and we got exactly what we deserved. To be honest, I did misplay very heavily in a lot of those games too. But hopefully it was an entertaining ride. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. If you did, there is apparently a like and subscribe and all that you can click, which does help me. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't, don't. No water off my back. And have a good evening.